Well, you may have just finished up your first year of gardening, or maybe you've been gardening for a long time. But those of you that maybe this is your very first season, you've gone through spring, you've now gone through summer. We're now mid-August here in Zone 8, Central Texas. So a lot of the garden has matured and coming to the end of its life, and we're starting to plant the things that we have in this market garden for the fall. So I'm speaking to a lot of you that you're first-time gardeners, and I want to give you a piece of advice that was given to me years ago when I left the corporate world, opened up and started this market garden with a lot of work and a lot of time and help from my sons. My sons helped me put together and build these high tunnels, which they're fairly simple, but it takes a collaborative effort with several people to get these things built. So credit goes to them and helping me with doing that. But years ago, when I started this market garden, I had a piece of advice given to me by somebody that had been a farmer for a long time. And I'll never forget what he said. And I want to pass that along to you because as difficult as market gardening can be sometimes, gives you a little bit of peace of mind that sees you through the times when it gets difficult. And what he told me was, no 2 years, no 2 seasons are exactly the same. And boy, that's so true. And I'm going to give you an example that when we opened up this garden several years ago for the very first time, you can call it beginner's luck. But in these high tunnels, we started planting our Swiss chard, our spinach. Later in the season, we went in with our cucumbers. We even had a little bit of corn over here, which we realized corn, for whatever reason, we get a lot of pests, and corn's not the best idea for this particular part of Texas. But I'll never forget, it just was absolutely beautiful. And it was beginner's luck, start to finish. The only thing I started to notice is the things that I planted, these long 50-foot rows of spinach and Swiss chard, and especially the radishes. As the harvest started to move on with radishes, because radishes are a one-time pull. You pull them, they're consumed, and they're done. As I started to get to the end of the row, they started to be at the end of their life cycle. So instead of planting them in weekly batches, I planted them all at the same time. That was a mistake. Something I learned quickly, that there needed to be a little bit more of a succession where I planted them weekly. But that first year we had an incredible harvest, really, really good. And it was such a blessing. We went to our farmers markets and started building a clientele. And the reason I tell you all of that is that then we come back to season 2 with this farm. And I'll never forget it. After we got everything planted and put in the ground, ready to go, early spring, there were some things that just did not pop out of the ground or perform exactly like they had done the season before. Yes, we had successes. Yes, we had good tomatoes. We had good cucumbers. We had some squash. But one of the things that happened that season 2 is we discovered the pests that come after squash. We had squash bugs that were absolutely ravenous. And we had different insects that were going after some of our tomatoes. And that first season, we didn't have a lot of that. One of the things was it was an early garden. Some of the pests just had not discovered, literally not discovered the location yet. But boy, season 2, things showed up. Now, since then, we've had years that have been incredible harvest, and we've had years where certain crops just did not do that well. And I'll give you a perfect example of this year versus this time last year. This time last year, we had a swarm of grasshoppers out here that in one of my videos I did last year, I called it biblical. The locusts of the Bible, which I believe those referred to are grasshoppers. It was biblical out here. I had never seen so many grasshoppers in my life, and they were ravenous. Anything they could eat, anything they could consume, they did. And last year was a very hot, dry year, which seems to be the perfect condition for grasshoppers hatching out and being prolific. And by golly, they were. They were prolific and everywhere. This year, turn around 12 months later, here in August, is this summer we had a ton of rain, a lot of overcast days, and you do see grasshoppers out here, but you only see them occasionally. So compared to last year, it's nearly 180 degrees difference. We just don't have them, and that's been a blessing to a lot of our different plants. And the reason I give you these examples is back to what I said and what was told me when I started this garden, is that remember, even if it's a small backyard garden and you're going to plant some different items and different things that your family likes, different vegetables, no two seasons will be exactly the same. Sure, there's things you can count on. You can pretty much, at this farm right here at this location, we always tend to get one of the last big cold fronts of the year that comes in June 1st. Not that it changes it much colder, but when that colder air comes down and hits this central Texas moisture, we'll get usually a big thunderstorm, lots of heavy wind, and you can almost count on it right there towards the last few days of the school year. Happens right around that time. You can chisel it in stone. Happens almost every year. Usually the heat, you can pretty much predict, unless it's a rainy year, you can predict exactly when that heat's going to start. So there's things that are seasonal you can pretty much count on every year. But the one thing I will tell you that's going to change for you each year is that no two seasons will be exactly the same with your garden. And my final example I'll give you is our tomatoes. Last year we had a very good tomato harvest. This year just hasn't been that good. A lot of it I blame, again, we had those very cloudy days. Another thing I blame on us is that we didn't feed them as heavily this year. Tomatoes are heavy feeders. They like a lot of nutrients, using fish emulsion, and there's different foods that we put down, minerals that we put in the soil. We just did not do that this year, thinking that the compost would be more than adequate. Compost is good, but for those tomatoes, it just wasn't enough, and we just didn't get the harvest that we've had in seasons past. So if I could give you one piece of advice, is maybe you're wrapping up that first year and you had some successes or you had some disappointments. Just know, and if you go into it knowing this, it makes the expectations much easier, because no garden's perfect and no two seasons will be exactly the same. You may have had a good harvest with your black-eyed peas, as I have black-eyed peas as I'm looking at right there, and we had a fairly good harvest this year with them. You may have a good harvest this year, and next year, who knows? You just don't know. There could be that outbreak of grasshoppers. Hopefully not. And that's one of those things that is just an expectation, knowing ahead of time before you start your garden, and makes life a little bit easier to know that those things can happen. So we always appreciate. Thanks for finding our channel. It means a lot. Thanks for sticking with us. If you're with us at this part in the video, thanks for hanging with me on this. It means a lot to Whirlwind Family Farm when you like, subscribe, and certainly hit that bell for notification. Give us your comments. Give us your thoughts. If you're a first-time gardener or you've been gardening for 30, 40 years, give us some of your insights and ideas and things you've done in the past to maybe level out some of those changes and make it more consistent. We can all benefit from putting those thoughts and ideas in the comments. Thanks again. We always have another video right over here you can check out. We have many videos you can check out. This will take you further along in that process. Blessings over you, your family, your garden. Talk to you soon from Whirlwind Family Farm.